Hi everybody, thanks for being here with me today. My name is Kate Woodruff O'Donnell, and I am excited to talk about color drawing using colored pencils today. So my passion is drawing food and candy and anything nostalgic. So we'll be drawing this donut today, very bright and pink. Lots of sprinkles, lots of color, totally up my alley. If you've seen my work, especially with this flyer promoting my demo with the Valentine candy hearts, definitely you'll see why I picked this donut to draw. So I'll introduce you to some of the tools that I draw with and use and explain a little bit more about them. Stonehenge paper is a rag paper. It's a little bit thicker than sketchbook paper. Is my favorite. You can get it at any Meinigers or Guyries, any art supply store. If you don't have that today, I know we're all working from home. That's okay. A piece of sketchbook paper is fine. Prismacolor pencils are my favorite. They're amazing. And if you have a set, great. If you don't, that's okay. For today, just getting used to seeing color in the object that we are drawing is perfect. You'll learn so much. But Prismacolor blends so nice. And you'll see that as I go and I demo a little bit more. So you'll see my organization here is right on par. Hopefully you guys are a little bit more organized with your pencils than I am. The more the colors, the merrier. But if you only have a couple, that's okay as well. So we'll be generally using what I have on the table right here. Electric pencil sharpener. Keeping your pencils sharp is a must. And if you have a crank pencil sharpener, that's okay too. But this is a little bit more fast. And as I draw, constantly you'll see me, or every couple seconds, sharpening my pencil. Colorless blender is great. If you have used Prismacolor pencils before, this is great to use. I prefer to blend with just a plain white colored pencil. This is nice. It burnishes the colors together fully, and then you can go work on top with other colors. I don't know if we'll get this to this today, but your Turpenoid is a blender as well, and I'll demo that throughout the next couple of minutes as a burnisher. But if you don't have this is okay. It's something that's a little extra that makes your colored pencils, especially Prismacolor, turn into more of a paint. So you go from pencil to paint. All right, so you'll see that my donut is half done here. And you guys are just starting. So of course you'll want to sketch out your donut in sprinkles on your paper lightly using an H pencil. A 4H, 2H pencil is fine. And as you sketch, light hands, okay? If you put down too much pencil lead, it's gonna mix in the colors that you put down. So as you sketch your pencil, or use your pencil to sketch, I'm gonna invite you to look at all the sprinkles, the frosting, the rivets here, the frosting that's coming off of the donut. And you'll see my step-by-step guide more on the handout that was attached to this video. So when you're done sketching your donut, I'm going to ask you guys to take a yellow and a purple or purple-blue pencil. Let's see what we have here. To do your grisaille, your underlayer for your donut. And this is something I ask my students to do before they start any drawing. They sketch out and then put their grisaille down. So yellow is going to make your colors bright. The purple is going to keep your darks bright, but keep them dark. So you have two things here. Underneath the pink, you want that to be bright and yellow. Your sprinkles, you want to have a little bit more dark in them. And so that's going to take a little bit of the violet pencil. After you do this, and you're not going to put too much color down, you're really going to go through and put some yellow. Then when you see some of the shadow areas, you're going to lightly, let's build up this blue, put a little violet in there. And don't put too much down or put too much pressure, because if you put too much of that color down, it's going to resist the other colored pencils you're going to put on top. This is the first layer. And if you mess up or put it in a wrong area, it's okay. We're going to go over it so much that no problem. So you're just going to go around and kind of, for lack of better terms, hit your donut a little bit with the yellow and the violet. So the green sprinkles would get a little layer of yellow, the pink ones, the blue ones. You want to keep the white ones pure and open, the paper color. And when you're done with that, just going around the donut, outlining your sprinkles. I'm going to then invite you to look at those colors you see first, second, and third. So I'm going to pick out for the pink frosting, a light, a dark, and a darker, or a brighter, and then a more muted, darker tone for the frosting. So you have almost a value scale of those colors that you see in the donut. And you can kind of match those through the picture. Some people might see it a little different, and you might want it more of a brown, more of a dark purple. That's okay. But you're really going to work those colors like you would a sandpaper. You're going to start light. Build on top of that yellow. And then you're going to add some of the darker pinks on top where you see them. And it's okay if your drawing doesn't look like much at first. You know, you have these basic shapes. You have these sprinkles that have no shape yet. That's okay. As you build the colors, they're going to pop. The frosting's going to look more like frosting. Prismacolor pencil or color pencil drawing is one of the longest processes, I feel, in drawing. So be patient. And as patient as you are, you're going to see your drawings just come together before your eyes. All right. So as I go, I'm looking at the local first color of some of these sprinkles of red ones and such, and kind of throwing those colors right on top. Then I'm going to go back and start building my pink again. And it's really important as you build your donut to squint at the colors that you see. And when you squint your eyes, when you paint or color draw, all those underlining colors will pop right out. And so you're not just using one pink, you're using multiple pinks multiple purples, multiple greens and some blues, some complementary colors for the luminosity of the values to come through. So I'm going to even take this lilac pencil, I'm going to take some blues even, and look at some of the shadow areas and throw those in. Go through and see like, okay, on top of that pink, I see a little purple coming up. Squint again. Yeah. Trust your eye. Put some purple down. And the cool thing about colored pencil is you can keep layering and layering and layering. So I'm going to go back on top with the pink, the darker mid-tone pinks, and if I need to outline or pop something, I'm going to go in with a darker purple, blue, green, complementary colors to reds to darken it. So you want to keep using your colored pencils and going back and forth, beveling it until you see no paper color. And once you get enough pigment on the paper, going back and forth, right? My lilac's gonna come back in. The darker pink. You can then take your white colored pencil and burnish all those colors together. And that's a great thing about Prismacolor is, man, it just melds so nicely. It's okay. If you don't have the Prismacolors today at your house, seeing the colors and the detail in this object that we see all the time in our society and that we love to smell and eat, and kind of notice how sprinkles lay on top with a cast shadow, how that pink has 4 different pinks in it, not just one, And when you start seeing this in color, in any drawing, in color drawing, any object, you'll start noticing it in so many other things in life. So I'm taking even this fuchsia color and going through, putting it in my green sprinkle, layering the green right on top. And as I do this, I'm noticing that, okay, well, I want to start working on some of the darker sprinkles. So I'm going to look at, again, working up the pencils like you would a sandpaper. And working from lightest to darkest, right? So we have this value scale happening. So we put down yellow and then work the greens right on top. And if you need a brighter, more color, you can always go back and add more of a lighter green right on top. And you're going to do that for the red sprinkles and the orange sprinkles. It's a cool thing. Okay, so we have a couple different oranges here. I think yellow can go on all sprinkles. And then the blue sprinkles too. You're going to pick out a couple of blue colored pencils to put on top. Okay, just kind of work those pencils. The really magic comes again with that burnishing with a white colored pencil. And you'll see me blow and use a paper towel as I go. And that's really important to note. Oops. Because you don't want to wipe with your hand. This is oil-based, and too much oil on a surface, I think, can start to resist your colored pencil. So wiping with something else or blowing, but if you keep going like this, it's going to not necessarily smear the colored pencil, but make it hard to layer. Okay. Great. All right. Some, as I go, I'm putting a layer of white down all over that I've put the pink. And then I'm noticing again that I need a cast shadow, something to ground my donut. And I don't necessarily want you guys to draw this napkin or the table that you see in the photograph. But some sort of darkness needs to be behind that donut. And the thing that you need to look out for with any cast shadow for black and white drawing or color drawing is too much. Less is more. So really make sure that the colors that you put down in that cast shadow area don't fight with your donut. So I'm starting with a layer of yellow going around that donut. I'm going to do just a little bit of a cast shadow. I think a suggestion that it's on a table is great. Then I'm squinting my eyes and I'm seeing a light purple, maybe a little bit of darker purple, like a black grape or a black cherry pencil, maybe a little bit of blue. It's all what you see when you squint your eyes and when you see those colors, and trust that. Right? And then I'm going to start burnishing down with my white. Okay. And again, a more comprehensive guide will be given out in the handout that I've created. And then again, going back and forth with some of those colors. I pick honestly 3 or 4, and let's edge on 4 colors for the cast shadow, not including your white colored pencil. 4 or 5 for the pinks and the cast shadows that you see in the frosting. And then at least 3 for each sprinkle. It's blue sprinkle, red sprinkle, pink sprinkle. You might have 6 or 7 in some areas. That's great. I usually do. I usually have a handful of pencils that I can't even hold anymore that I have to start putting down. But the burnishing process, even if you put, let's say, a green down by this yellow, gives it depth, right? You can go back and burnish that right in with your white. If you make a mistake and you say, oh, it's too much brown or dark purple by a red colored pencil, start burnishing. See what happens. You're going to be surprised at how it melds into the other colors quickly. And then you can go right back on top of the local color. Quick tips. All right, the terpenoid that I promised you. This is less is more, again, like the cast shadow. So if you have a brush, a small brush, something to put your terpenoid in, great. A paper towel, you're dipping your brush in and almost getting all that off. If you put too much on and then go to your drawing, it will act as an eraser. So a little bit goes a long way. So dip. So you're almost like getting the essence of the turpenoid. And then small circles. You're blending that color together and you'll see it almost become paint. This is a great blending technique. And the really great thing is with turpenoid, like the white colored pencil, is you can go right back after blending that again with some of the colors that you see. Give it a couple seconds, and then you can start drawing and building up that color right on top again. And it really gives this just beautiful luminosity, or you can start burnishing again. Some people like the, and I'm gonna do that right now with my white. So, brightens the color, keeps continuously smushing it down. Smushing is a, for sure, technical term. And I can keep drawing right on top of it. It's non-toxic, so you can have it in your home. If you were scared, open a window for sure, but non-toxic, and it won't yellow your paper. Lastly, some people like the colorless blender, and I do for crisping up edges and bringing some detail. Does the same thing as the white colored pencil and the turpenoid. But don't burnish too much or too fast with it, because then it will ruin your paper, the integrity of your paper. But again, it will smush all those colors together in a great way, and then you can go back and start drawing right on top of it. No drying time. All right. Well, this is my quick video demo of Prismacolor pencils. Again, check out my Instagram for my finished demo, and please send me your donuts when you are finished at Kate_Woodruff_O'Donnell, and that's seen here on your flyer on Instagram. So please at me, and I will share your demos and give you some comments and some feedback as well. I hope this was a great opportunity for you, and you've learned a little bit, not just about color drawing, but seeing color in objects. Thank you.